The 4 Key Steps Behind Setting Expired Listing Presentations. Written by Jacob Baxter. Narrated by Jacob Baxter. Preface. What if the most effective way to convey our mission as a salesman or saleswoman was to listen to the perspective of others? Many of the world's most successful men and women attribute their prestige to their ability to deliver to the needs of their patrons, and they are able to do so because they share this one critical trait. This one trait is so obvious that we all forget its truthful effectiveness from time to time, and that's okay, because in this booklet, we will not only discuss the art of listening, we will dissect it and put its ability to use immediately. The greatest form of genuine appreciation or flattery is to listen. We all have something to say. After all, no matter what business we partake in, it really is rarely about us. From the second a patron begins a conversation with us, to the very moment we step away or hang up the phone, just like any other individual in any other conversation, they have something to say and have an idea of what it is they want. No one, I repeat, no one likes to be told what they ought to have or what may be truly good for them. They especially pick up on the animalistic tendencies of many salesmen and saleswomen who attempt to force them into making decisions. They are people, and just like you, they would prefer to come up with the idea themselves through the art of self-discovery, and then decide to follow through on their own accord. They need their own light bulb. We've all had our own experience with the light bulb effect. You feel it when you suddenly become inspired to do or partake in something that you feel would generate pleasure or benefit you by doing so. The impossibly powerful trait of listening is what allows great salesmen and saleswomen to guide their prospect to the finish line through manifesting the idea to do so as an end result of the conversation in the mind of the prospect themselves. You need not oversell, nor use methods of deceit or trickery. All you must do in order to secure a prospect for a listing presentation is to paint the picture of productivity and effectiveness that will enter the patron's life, say he or she follows through with the idea of the product you are selling, which in this case is their home. If they see that there is a great benefit in moving forward, if they create the idea in their own mind that it is going to be an advantageous move to do so, they absolutely will. In the field of expired listings, you are contacting homeowners who have already tried and they have failed. They have failed in one way or another. Either the home didn't sell in the contract's time frame, or the agent may have fallen out of the good graces of the owner, or maybe they just withdrew it out of the aggravation of having no offers. This means not only do you require the agreement to meet with you, but you also must first reignite the desire to move forward with the idea of selling the property at all. I stated previously, there is a reason that the property expired, and it will do a great benefit to you if you learn this reason and use it to mold the way you interact with the seller. If they passionately bash the workings of their last agent, you have an option to state that you would never act in those ways, but you must state it professionally, without bashing any other professional. If they expired due to the date of contract, you get to stress the ways that you advertise differently in order to close faster than the rest of the brokerages locally. And if they withdrew the property, your spirit and friendliness alone may be what wins them. Remember, you must mirror the person you are speaking with, and I mean that seriously. Imagine that the person is looking at you and is expecting to see them. No one wants to speak with somebody that they feel they have great differences with, and there is a great difference between a salesperson and the person who answers their call from the very jump. So, it is your job to be familiar. You will encounter a few reoccurring personality types as you make the thousands of calls needed in order to successfully become a real estate agent off of cold calling. Here are some of them. Number 1. The strong owner. Seemingly informed and business-oriented, with noticeable authority in their voice. They can't directly be told what is good for them, and they command their end of the conversation. They have a backbone that can be felt over a call, and they are dedicated to their own beliefs. They may hesitate to even talk to you because they know, based on previous sales interactions, it may not be the best idea. They know that they can sell the home themselves as an FSBO or for sale by owner, and they might not exactly trust real estate professionals. They will ask you what makes you different from other realtors in regard to marketing, track record, presentability, and more. But regardless of the wall they've built, a solid interaction that shows them value and safety is still enough to maybe sway them into saying yes to meeting with you. Number 2, the angry individual. They just don't have time for it today. They may curse and call you names. They will ask why you have access to their personal phone number. They may yell, "Take me off your damn list." They may actually be listed with another agent and you just didn't notice, so they threaten to take legal action. Relax. If you encounter any version of the angry individual, get off the phone immediately. If for some reason anything truly becomes an issue, you have to apologize and make them feel as if you've learned your lesson. They will likely have blown off the steam they needed in order to relax themselves. Number 3, the ready and regular. Uninformed, they don't know anything about for sale by owner, and they believe that you're required for the transaction. They are motivated to move for a particular reason that you should know about, and they are actively seeking a new real estate professional. A golden egg, the needle in a haystack. These are the ones who just say yes and make you wonder why it was so easy compared to the others who may have berated you and said no after a very long phone call. The other strong difference that you will encounter between your 3 main personality types is age. Age is something you can hear, just like experience. Age and experience are the 2 things you are listening for and gauging your own responses off of. If you call and you find yourself speaking with an older gentleman named Oswald, you best slow yourself down to his speed and use language that conveys knowledge of years. Lower your voice, maybe even make it raspy, and introduce yourself as an older man whom he can relate to and keep up with. Now do the exact opposite if you find yourself speaking with a very fast-paced and young person. Sound ready, alert, informed, and full of pep. If they speak in long sentences and let you talk, you speak in long sentences and let them talk. If they sound like a strong and assertive individual who will control a conversation, give it back, and be strong and assertive enough to control your end of the conversation. Meet friction with friction, and slowness with slowness. Meet the uninformed and ready individual with guidance and trust. How you interact with them in person is dependent on who you really are. But during this phone call, it's way more about how they react to you than absolutely anything else. What's great about it is that you have the ability to control your actions and the way you convey yourself to any individual. And let's be honest, there are just truly massive differences in the way that we should interact with some people. Like for instance, a $5 million homeowner will want a true professional who can speak and act like one and hold their own in all business conversation, while a $150,000 homeowner may want something more personal, interactive, and something that feels more like a friend. You need to speak to every single seller differently, based on their age, experience, speed, and tone. Take all of it in and create yourself in the 30 seconds you have to begin the conversation. After that, you will rely on the 4 key steps that make up the most important steps of the expired listing presentation setting process. Well, I guess you don't have to speak with every single owner differently. You could just be yourself. But what I will say to that avenue of attack is, when you attach yourself to losses, you may find yourself taking it way more personally than you first intended, and denial is inevitable. Regardless of how many calls you make, or how good you get at becoming who you are talking to, you will be told no. But you must always remember that you were not told no. You could have been anyone on that call. We count no losses. We only count wins in this business. And when you win, it is yours to keep. Beginning the cold call. Before we force our way through the door of conversation and risk a completely inappropriate and careless introduction of ourselves, we first take the casual approach of a friendly hello. Like I said before, you must be who you speak with. They likely want to be in a good mood and enjoy themselves as you do, and your tone and word choice is what will or will not make them feel like you fit their personality type. Notice, I said they make the decision of whether or not your type works with them, not the other way around. You already know they're a seller, and for you, that works fantastically. On the phone, our voice is our smile, our intonation is our personality, and our lingo is our poise. So embrace the individual like you have spoken before. Pick up on their personality type as fast as you can, so they like you. Speak to them as if you have been wanting to speak to them again, like you already know them and they already know you. You'd be surprised to see how many times they actually think they know you from somewhere if you do this properly. Step 1. Your first words. Hello, my name is your name. I was taking a look at property address, and I was truly hoping for an opportunity to have a conversation with the owner. Make certain that you state that you believe this conversation is an opportunity. It's open-ended and attractive if the homeowner feels that they are the center point of possibility. Not only does this form of speech work with any personality type, it also shows respect and passively states that you yourself see potential in the conversation. The 3 possible responses. Number 1. Why, yes, sir, or ma'am. That is me. I own that property. How may I assist you? Number 2. Why, I'm afraid we don't own that property. This is the wrong number. Number 3. Yes, that's my house, and you will not call my phone again. Take us off the list. 2 of 3 of these responses leave you with nothing left to do besides call your next potential expired listing. There is nothing left to do if you contact someone who does not own the property or someone who is so blatantly ready to not work with you. Just move on. Don't waste your valuable calling time. You will see when you set an appointment how easy it actually was, and you will wonder why it happened so fast compared to the other calls that were so strenuous. Response number 1 is your ticket to listening. You have located the homeowner and they are willing to give you a discussion in regard to the property. Period. You are in, ready to listen. The owner may have said something like, "What may we do for you?" when in fact it is you who wishes to do for them. Step 2. Continue your inquiry with casual open-ended questions. Well, I saw that it was for sale not too long ago. I wanted to ask if maybe y'all were still willing to discuss it. Do not state that you are a realtor or attached to any brokerage. It is not illegal to make cold calls to relay information. And this far in, we may be actually inquiring to plan an acquisition. This is a sorting mechanism. Literally just ask the owner if they are or if they are not willing to discuss the property. Some will say they are, and some will say they are not. That is the game. The 4 possible responses. Number 1. Not interested. Hang up. Number 2. If you have a buyer present, we can discuss it. If not, we are not relisting. Number 3. We are already being represented by a realtor. Thank you. Or number 4. Actually, we are ready to discuss it. What makes you ask? 2 of 4 of your responses leave you with an option. Response 1 and 3 leave you with no other option besides to continue and look for another